Guys, our next guest is one of the most exciting guys in the lightweight division. He comes to war every single time. And at this point, the suspense is killing us as to who he's going to be fighting next, repping CKB and coming straight out of CKB, New Zealand. One of our favorites, Dan the Hangman Hooker. Welcome back to your second home. How are you, man? Welcome to the UFC 264 post-fight show. It's a bit delayed, but we're happy to have you here.
It's like a week delayed. Like a week delayed. That was your bad. I'm not even going to apologize for missing the interview last week.
It was our bad that we reached out.
Bro, he's messaged me 9 p.m. You're like, 9 p.m. You're ready to go? I was like, am I ever? You missed it. There's like a fine line where I reckon like 6 to 8 beers, you'll probably catch like the best interview of your life. And then like past that 12 mark. And then I'm going to have every fan I do have will just leave me after that. And then there's, and we were well past that range, lads.
I was going to ask you, what were you worried about? Like, why not just come on the show smash and then whatever happens, happens. And then the next day you can just watch it along with everybody else and be like, what did I even say on the show?
Past that. We were deep, lads. We were deep.
How's a typical day for you play out? I'm always trying to visualize it.
I was past the point of, when it rings and there's the red button and the green button. I couldn't even figure that out.
Well, you figured out a message, and all you responded with was "ha ha ha."
Like 2 hours later.
And I was like, well, if he's able to type. And by the way, I think you were chasing around $200 all day long as well. Is that right? Did you get paid?
I got my money. Yeah, I got my money. The bro pays up. The bro pays up.
I know what the problem is. You had your money. You could have come on the show. You didn't have your money.
This new rich Dan Hooker is like, I don't have time for post shows.
It's like you basically Conor McGregor. When you got the money, you decided to stop doing the interview with us.
Part of the deal with my mate Si, like we made the bet $200. He was back in Conor's his guy. He was back in Conor. Then I put the money on Dustin $200. But my part of the deal was I'm gonna take that $200. I'm gonna put it in the pokies, and I'm gonna just lose the lot of it.
Did you?
Just to rub some salt into the wound.
Did you? Did you put it in the pokies?
Mate, I don't have a cent of that. I don't have a cent of that money left. Jeez, I'm gone.
I love it. All the big fights, Oliveira, Chandler, you were so wasted. I believe something about Blake's house, the pirate ship. That's all I remember. But you thought Chandler won for like an hour, and now the Conor Dustin fight. Do you remember anything from the fight? Or was it all just a hazy blur to you?
Nah. I watched the whole thing. Clean as a whistle, lads.
Well, yeah.
Well, you were preparing for the post show with us at that time. Still, I'm still.
Yeah. I was like prepared, and then you guys were like, "I'll hold fire for 4 hours." I was like, "Good luck with that."
What do you remember from the fight, man?
Yeah.
I watched the fight. I remember the fight.
We want to get your thoughts on it, though. What did you think? What did you think of Dustin's win and Conor's loss? And also the fact that now Conor's put out a lot of photos saying he had issues with his legs going into the fight. And, of course, fans are also sort of questioning him throwing all those leg kicks at the start. Was it a diversion to sort of get him away from the leg? Was he just trying to stop Dustin from kicking him? What's your whole take on the whole situation?
Yeah, if you got like stress fractures in your leg, I doubt you're going to be throwing any kicks whatsoever. So I highly doubt. Like, I'm sure he would have had like some kind of injuries, but we all have injuries coming into it. From man, I kind of side with the judges. There was a 10-8 round. Dustin was pretty much outclassing him, and I think everyone can agree that was like the round one was Conor's round to like shift the tide of the fight. If it went past out, it was like his margin of winning was only getting slimmer and slimmer. So yeah, I don't know too much about that, but I wouldn't be shocked if he Poirier wins the belt. McGregor comes out and he gets a title shot off the bat.
I love it. You're already predicting what basically the most cynical of fans are expecting already. I think. Woof.
My
The setup. Yeah.
My
The
high
ESPN
tech.
setup has fallen it down.
My cup fell.
Oh, the cup. The cup. I love it. But this actually looks even better. This is even better framing. This is good.
Hey, blind luck. That's what I'm here for.
What do you think hurt Conor's stock more? The fact that he lost, or the post fight thing with Dustin's wife and him sitting there, you know, in a heap, kind of yelling and everything?
Yeah, like the post fight thing didn't do him any. Like people were, I don't know, people were like looking for a reason to get off the bandwagon, I guess, and he kind of gave them an out. But I think like the result of the fight, like the leg break and that's just something that that's like a freak of nature for something like that to happen. And so I don't feel like there was like a exit there for him. But yeah, when he started saying he's gonna kill him and his wife, like that's just nonsense. That's just silly talk.
It's funny because you're sort of already predicting the fact that, yeah, if Conor comes back, gets a good win, if Dustin is the champion, they're probably going to do that title fight. Are you interested in that fight though? Like as a fan, as a curiosity factor, do you think there's anything new in that fight that we could possibly learn? Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor 4. Do you think that fight plays out any different?
Nah. Sells a lot of pay-per-views. That's probably why it'll happen. But nah, like you can't say that. And then he's recovering from a leg break and whatever. Dustin's preparing and like has another fight and, you know, more time in the octagon and he's like fit and healthy. It's nah, I can't say there's too much. Like it was the same reason why I didn't think there'd be much of a difference from the second fight to the third fight. Just not enough time for adjustments. And then how on earth is he going to make those adjustments with a broken leg and surgery and rehab and all the things like that?
It's interesting now because you got Dustin and Charles Oliveira, and I wonder who do you pick in that one? Do you believe Dustin can become the champ, or do you think Charles is too much of a challenge for him?
Nah, I think Dustin's got that fight. Like that's an exciting fight. I like to see that fight. I like to see how it plays out. But yeah, I just don't think Oliveira will be able to get him down, if I'm being honest.
And then you got Dustin obviously in close quarters. How do you think it goes sort of, in some of the later rounds? They both kind of come to war. I guess Dustin's got the cardio edge.
Oh, yeah, I'd say Dustin's like more durable and like he enjoys that kind of fight. And his fourth and fifth rounds are his best rounds of the fight. I don't know, from memory, I can't really remember. Oliveira just really turning that pace up and really being able to match that kind of pace. Yeah, I think I feel like Charles is an elite fighter, but I feel like just Dustin, stylistic wise, just has the tools to beat him.
That's right. Well, last time Charles turned up the heat, you were on the pirate ship with Blake, I believe, and you thought Michael Chandler had one for an hour. So that's probably why that is. Let's talk about Islam Makhachev's win over Thiago Moises yesterday. What did you make of the performance? And did you have as many beers during that one as well as you did last weekend? And I'm presuming you were halfway to the pokies during the post-fight speech, as that was happening as well.
Nah, no beers, That we're no beers mode. Nah, we're no beers mode. It's time.
Someone else must have asked you to do a post-fight show.
It's time to knuckle down.
What did you think of the fight then? I saw your brother's workshop. What did you think of the fight though?
Oh, I don't know. What did you guys think of it? I kind of was watching and then fast forward and got bored, so I can't really it kind of is what it is.
I think it's one of those things where a lot of people have big expectations for him. Do you think he met the expectations that people were sort of looking to receive from that performance?
Dougie, come around here.
Who is it?
Submission Radio.
Oh, no.
Nah. He's going for shit.
I'd rather go for shit.
He'd rather go for shit.
Okay,
But
great. Thanks, Dougie.
Great, come on, me. Say yeah.
he said I can follow him into the toilet and we can do the interview in there. Nah, light doesn't work.
I like it. That's the only thing stopping you from doing it.
The light not working makes things more exciting.
Oh, the lights out. The lights out, lads. So I'll follow him in.
Yeah, wait, if I get the light, then you can come put on my lap while I'm taking a shit.
Woohoo! What an offer.
Tell Doug we say have a great shit.
The Submission Radio boys say have a great shit. Nice. Oh, thank you.
See?
I'm doing just thing.
Just
Making
for you
friends
guys now.
everywhere. Nice. Do you think Islam sort of met the expectations that people had for him for this fight, Dan?
Oh, like I don't know what sort of expectations are like on the guy.
That he's the next
just thought it was
Khabib, that he's
funny.
gonna-
Like I said, I started having a like chiming in and having a go because Felder said it when he retired. He's like, oh man, I'm sick of these guys like saying I'm a chicken, saying I'm thing. I had to put up with the same thing. Coming into like the main event of UFC Auckland, and I knew like Felder was going to be the fight, and then Islam starts chiming in. So I started having like a bit of banter with him, saying that I would have to give away tickets to the event in the car park of Pack and Save if I got booked with Islam Makhachev. So I can't say I regret not going out of my way to fight Islam to put on a 5-round war in my hometown with Paul Felder. And if it would have been like anything like he performed in his main event, that's not the style of fight that the Kiwi fans want to see. They want to see two blokes go out there and really challenge themselves and see who's better. Like I said, I kind of got bored watching his main event in fast forward, so I couldn't imagine watching the damn thing live in my hometown. I think there would have been a bloody riot after the fight, and then from that, and then after that one, DC's, oh yeah, no, this fight makes sense. I already caught wind that I was going to fight Dustin Poirier, so you're going to say that I avoided fighting Islam Makhachev for the easy option of Dustin Poirier. I think if you say that, you'd be insane. So it is what it is. So I had to put up with the chicken talk. Now, when the fight didn't make sense for me, now the fight doesn't make sense for him. Give him a little nudge in the ribs, seeing, man, scrolling past and seeing on like, there's like build-up videos, just him saying, oh, everyone's scared to fight him. The whole division shook. Well, you're just copying your mate's homework. Give your mate's homework back and and come up with something for yourself, son.
There's a lot to unpack there. What do you think of that notion that, because I hear the commentators say it every single week, saying these guys are scared, nobody wants to fight him in this division, which is kind of a big accusation. I feel like you need some kind of evidence to point to that. What do you make of this notion?
Yeah, time will tell. Like the fight doesn't make sense for a lot of those guys sitting ahead of him. Why he just beat number 15, or he just beat number 15, and then he beat number 15, and then guys in the top 5 are supposed to be howling his name and taking the fight. Like, I think Dominic Cruz said it. He's like, what? So everyone else that is ranked lower than me calls me out. I'm a pussy for turning down the fight. He's like, well, then I'm a pussy every day of the week. I'll have to find that interview of Dominic Cruz, but it just is what it is. Like, it just doesn't make sense for those guys to go out there with the notion that everyone's afraid of them. Like, no one, I truly believe, like, no one in that top 15 is afraid to fight anyone else in the top 15. It just doesn't make sense. You watch someone get the belt, everyone's scared of someone, you watch them get the belt, and then no one turns the fight down. Everyone's positioning themselves to be champion, and that's just what it is. So the notion that fighters are afraid of another fighter is just silly. And if you believe that, I think you're just a little bit gullible.
I agree with you. I think it's something we can put to bed. No one's really afraid of anybody. What do you make of Islam, though, saying that he isn't really interested in a fight with you? He feels like it's a fight that doesn't do a whole lot for him.
Yeah. Oh, it's just funny. Like, I don't really care. I don't take it too serious. It's just a bit of banter to me. But if you dish it out, you better be able to take it. So his reason is that like 3 losses on my last 6 fight, and then in the same breath calls out Tony Ferguson, who's lost 3 in a row. So that makes about as much sense as shitting in a swimming pool. So I don't know, what he's on about.
Well, you mentioned it before. It wasn't going to be the most exciting fight for UFC Auckland, but in all reality, after seeing his last performance, how do you think a fight between you and him plays out? Like, when you think of it, is there a particular way that it finishes in your mind?
Oh, that's like a difficult question because there's so many different things. I'd say it's like I would want that fight to be a 5-rounder for sure, and I think that's like 2.5 rounds of defending takedowns and scrambling back to my feet. But then once I'm back up there, I feel like I put his lights out.
I mean, you fought some really great grapplers in the division. What a great performance. I remember here in Melbourne against Ally Quinta, a really standout performance there. But I'm wondering, is a part of you kind of thinking, hey, it could be cool to be the first one to sort of beat him before he makes it up these ranks and gets really challenged by these RDAs and Tony Fergusons and the like? Would a part of you kind of get a bit of satisfaction of being the first one to give him that big loss?
No, I feel like he's on a good streak at the moment, but I think he's been I don't know the guy's record exactly, but I believe he's been knocked out in the UFC before. So then him copying Khabib's homework and saying all this wild stuff, like when you've been laid flat in the octagon, doesn't really have the same ring to it as an undefeated fighter.
Right. Well, speaking of rings to it and things that have a good ring to it, picture you walking down the street with a big old shaved sack. I think that's got a pretty good ring to it. And your friends at Manscaped are delivering exactly that with the Lawnmower 3.0, the best grooming tool on the market. Shave your sack, shave your arm, shave your back, shave your crack, shave anything you want. It is basically making you the best version of yourself. It is skin-safe technology, so it will not cut you. And they've got a whole bunch of extra fantastic products on the site. Things for your feet, things for basically everywhere, just making you smell nice, smell fresh. And it all comes with the Shed travel bag, so you can keep it together, carry it with you on basically any kind of journey, any kind of emergency. Maybe you're in the middle of a date and you go, shit, I haven't shaved down there. So you run to the toilet. With the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0, take care of business, and they're giving away a discount so you can save some money, 20% off with the code submission. What are you waiting for? Isn't that right, Dennis?
That's right, man. And free shipping. So you can't go wrong. We are brought to you by Manscaped. And when you guys are done getting ready for those next dates or being smooth in lockdown, what about making some money with MyBookie? If you guys sign up now with promo code submission, you can get advantage of up to a $1,000 bonus on your first deposit. That's promo code submission. Grab yourself a free cash bonus on top of the free bets and other great things, boosted odds, prop bets, all sorts of things that MyBookie has to offer. And how could you go past it right now? You got the Olympics coming up. You've got the NBA finals going on, all sorts of soccer tournaments and things happening around the world. You know, the naked mud wrestling on those illegal channels that your mum doesn't know about, but you know about, but your mum doesn't know about, but she'll eventually find out about. So why not make some money off it right now before she finds out about it? Go to MyBookie right now and use that promo code submission and get rich. The best place to do it, MyBookie. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie, Cass.
That's right. Speaking of anytime, anywhere, Dan, let me ask you, man, what is the latest with you? Last time we had you on the show, Submission Radio is looking for a fight for Dan Hooker.
Did you see we brought it up with Dana White?
Yeah. It helped me 0% in getting a fight.
Great.
Fantastic. The seeds are planted, Dan. They're those long-term crops.
The saga continues. Yeah, well, I was trying to get on Volk's card, but by the looks of that, their whole main event, their whole main card is stacked, so it doesn't look like it even needs any more names. It's got Robbie Lawler, Nick Diaz. It's got a main event, co-main event. Job done. That looks like a satisfied man.
That
Good
Dougie.
shit.
Yeah. He looks a couple kilos lighter.
Light on the feet. So what did they say to you? What have the latest chats been with the UFC?
Just haven't heard back even about September. You know, nothing's come back about getting on that September card. But I'm just gonna stay ready. I'm gonna stay ready and hold my breath that something does happen.
What about the opponent? You haven't heard anything either about that?
I'm at the stage now where I honestly don't care. I could not care less who they get me. They get me someone, like, I'm chomping at the bit. I will bite someone's head off.
Right. So I know last time we were doing the lists, you know, RDA, Tony Ferguson, a lot of these guys seemingly injured at the time, but now that we sort of reassess things, would you say that maybe those guys are at the top of the list, or are you throwing in even guys that are a little bit lower in the rankings now? Just sort of anybody to get you back in there?
Whoever.
What about timeline wise? Could this work out better for you if you're not? I guess it's funny, right? Because if Volk is fighting on the card, he's fighting Ortega. You were telling us how it's like a bit of a process where you guys kind of need to fight together because the quarantine team goes together, et cetera, et cetera. Would this kind of mess things up if you couldn't fight together? I guess if not that, then you might be at the sort of top end of another card, like a fight night, perhaps.
Yeah. So the way it was going to work out was like a couple of other city kickboxing boys will go over there and be on the same card, but then they've got their fights moved to another card later down the track. So it might be that, you know, that we just come over as one big team, as one big unit, and kind of get the job done. So it might not be Volkanovski's card. I'm gonna have to wait, but I'm getting itchy, lads. Yeah, it's like at the point now where it's getting pretty frustrating trying to find myself a fight.
Well, man, I think fans just want to see you back in there, dude. So we're going to have to keep pushing this narrative and trying to get you on a card as soon as possible. But at the same time, with this COVID stuff, it's just so tricky to time these things right. I mean, ideally, is September off the table? Do you still think there's a chance? Are you saying there's a chance, Dan? Are you saying there's a chance?
For me, I would go in September in a heartbeat. If the UFC come at me with a name wherever on that September card, I would happily jump over. And we'll see. From that point onwards, I'm good to go. I'm good to go, lads. And I'm good to go to training. I got 1 minute before I'm late, so I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, we'll let you go then, man. Follow the man at Dan the Hangman on Twitter, and of course Dan Hangman on Instagram. Check out his gym, the Combat Academy in Auckland, and you can follow them at Combat Academy NZ on Instagram. Dan, we appreciate your time. Have a great training session, and if you're like Doug later on and need to take a shit, have a great shit, man. Just nothing but positivity. I hope you get a big juicy fight.
I appreciate that. You don't get that. You don't get that throughout the day. Have a great shit.
See you at the next post-fight show, Dan. We'll catch you there. There they are.
Oh, nice. Tyson Pedro.
Awesome.
Like a wild Pokemon.
Lads.
I'll see you soon.